Today, I want to introduce you to, I don't know if you've heard of this guy. His name is Apostate Prophet.
I don't think I've really heard of Apostate Prophet. You were telling me about him the other day, but you said he was a Muslim, then not a Muslim, and now a Christian.
Now a Christian, yeah. So I think he's just beginning his journey, but for a while he's been an atheist. And his journey essentially started after he deconverted from Islam and started talking about it openly. And he got threats, which only reinvigorated him to even talk even more on the internet about it. So he started a whole YouTube channel about it and stuff.
I know David Wood just because I've read Nabil Qureshi's book on how he became a Christian from Islam to Christianity, and David Wood was the guy who helped him and evangelized him along the way.
Walk through that journey, Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus.
Yes, that's the name of it. Yeah, fantastic book.
Top 5 of my books for sure.
It's amazing.
It's an awesome book.
Yeah. So that's how I know David Wood from that.
Okay, so in this video, this was a shock. I think this video came out last week, and for a while I've been thinking, oh, he's probably pretty solid atheist, in terms of he's pretty grounded,
settled in his beliefs.
But apparently, he's now stepping into Christianity, and so this was
praise the Lord.
This was really encouraging to me when I found out about it, and so I'm curious what you would say and think about this, this journey that he's taking and how it relates to the Bible.
But yeah, so that last year, I was kind of the funny thing is my wife was observing this the whole time, because just around the same time, after certain events happened, she'd returned to her Christian faith after over a decade of just atheism, and chose to go with orthodoxy, with Eastern Orthodox Christianity. And while she was doing that, to me, in my mind, the thing that I would be least likely to go toward was Eastern Orthodox Christianity. Like, I thought, even if I somehow ended up becoming a Christian, I would probably become a Catholic. But I was practicing Jewish things, actually. I got myself, I went really into practicing Judaism. I was wrapping that, trying to learn to do it the right way, trying to do the whole, the talit and, the whole prayer veil and all these things, and was actually doing prayers in the mornings and all that while my wife was going toward Christianity. And she saw me doing that, and she was like, okay, I respect that you do that. But I wasn't really like, I was practicing that, but the whole time I just felt like I was cosplaying, like I was role playing, like I wasn't really doing anything. I was just pretending, pretty much. I tried those things for a while. Later on, I went toward Christianity more. I felt like this whole phase of trying out Judaism, I feel like I don't know, it didn't move anything within me, although the respect and all that is always there. But once I tried engaging in Christian prayer, I actually felt like something happened, and I felt like I'm actually doing something when I engage in prayer. And for the first time in 10 years or so, I had genuinely engaged in praying to God and asking for guidance and all that. There is a thing, like, I have to admit certain aspects here, certain things here, which are that I know that atheism might work out for lots of people. Every human is different. I know that it might work out for lots of people. There are lots of people out there who might be like, oh yeah, I'm an atheist, I'm totally cool, totally fine and all that. I don't really, I would say for myself, honestly, it wasn't necessarily always the best way of living. I would say, especially over the last year, I was kind of on a path of self-destruction and depression and complete nihilism and all that. And I was trying not to make that, not to make it very public and all that. But those close to me know how bad it was, and how I actually was in a place of thinking, what the hell is the point and all that. So it's actually kind of funny that over the last month I changed a lot and have become much more positive and much more hopeful and overall at peace.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome. That is the end of atheism. Even if atheists want to deny it, that's what it is, man. It's just meaninglessness and nihilism that's just going to lead to that.
Yeah. When you actually commit to that belief.
Yes. Yes.
to the belief of atheism.
Yeah, definitely. What I think is interesting is that he grows up Muslim, and there's one thing that Islam gets right, which is that there is one God who created us and who is out there, and our lives have to be related to this God somehow.
Yeah.
And so he went from that to trying atheism. Like he said, I tried it out. I tried to live like an atheist as if there is no God, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and he's spiraling out of control. And then he goes back towards these monotheistic religions, Judaism and Christianity, and is trying them out. Like he says, he said he was like cosplaying it. He's just trying the stuff that they do. I thought it was really interesting that he tries to sort of go through the motions with Judaism and just do the right stuff for Judaism. And then he says, man, what if I just try praying like a Christian and just asking God to help me? And all of a sudden that's when he starts to feel, again, like he's actually praying and something's actually happening. And that's because it is, man.
Yeah.
That's because it is. It's because there is a God, and it seems like he's truly actually calling out to that God to help him. And that's true and real, unlike trying to pretend and live like there is not a God. Or unlike trying to go through the motions of like, oh, there's just these things you're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do these things. Those aren't really either. Actually calling out, I mean, those could work, could be genuine expressions if you're actually genuinely calling out to God through them. But if you're just doing them, like you said, just going through the motions, that's not going to do anything. The works aren't going to do anything. But the genuine calling upon the Lord was where he started to feel, oh, this is real. And that's because it is. That's because it is. That's because the Spirit of God is active and he's actually coming before a real God who is listening,
Now, what would you say to his comment about, he says, for some people atheism works, but for me it didn't work, it led me to nihilism. What do we make of the atheists who are super happy, who are leading fulfilled lives, as they claim?
Yeah, I think his idea of like, well, for some people it works, that's very much the spirit of our modern age, where it's just like, hey, whatever works for you, man. If it works for you, that's great. It doesn't work for anybody. Ultimately it doesn't work.
Yeah.
In reality, it doesn't work. There's something about it, even for the happiest atheists, that's not working. Because it's not true. It's not actually what's really happening in the world. So it doesn't work, actually, for anybody.
So somebody who's an atheist who says, you know what, I'm just as happy as you Christians are.
Yeah.
He's lying.
He's not lying. He's not lying. What I mean by it doesn't work is there's something about it that's not working. It doesn't have to be just the emotional side of it. It doesn't you can have happiness in your life and not be a Christian. But that doesn't mean that your whole life system and philosophy actually is going to work. There's something that's going to be wrong. That's going to go wrong with it, I think. And it could. When you examine the life of someone who's not a Christian and not believing, there are going to be just sins and things that are broken there that are not fixable by anything except Christ.
But anyway, so long story short, there's just so much that I want to say about this. But over the last month, I started going to the Orthodox Church with my wife. And at first I was kind of a little bit weirded out by going to church. But then I said, hey, I want to go again. And then I'm like, hey, okay, I want to go again. And I want to go again. And today I actually met with my priest, who also accepted me as a catechumen, which would mean that he accepted me as a student on the path of becoming a Christian. And he made sure, like when I approached him about all of this at first, I said to him, it's very difficult to me to have faith or to declare my religious beliefs, because for 10 years or so I was in this phase of hardcore atheism. Like, I have to know that it is 100% true or else. And he gave me this funny comparison when I last talked to him about this. When I decided to become a catechumen, I said to him, look, I feel so, I lean toward it, I feel very good about it, I feel very happy about it, I have faith, I do prayers and all of that. The thing is, I can never confirm to myself 100% that I know it's true and all that. And I feel like that's what I'm expecting of myself and all that. And he said to me something funny, which was, he said, when you come to the church and experience the liturgy, knowing my kind of Turkish background, he said to me, and he's of Greek Turkish origin. He said, when you come to the church, you just get a little whiff, a little smell of the kebab. When you then become a catechumen, you basically get in line to get one of those kebabs. In the middle of while you're waiting in line, you can still make a decision, to back out or to finally get it. And I was like, hey, that's very funny, and that actually makes a lot of sense. And I said, so should I then become a catechumen? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
He says he converted for kebabs. The church offered him kebabs, and he says, I like kebabs. He said, we'll give you a ton of kebabs. Get in line if you want kebabs.
So it was a very funny exchange, but also a very eye-opening exchange, to be honest. But ever since, I have been very, very, very much practicing and doing daily prayers and all that. And I feel good. And I can't believe I'm saying this after 10 years of saying, no, I would never do prayer. I'm actually doing daily prayers now when I wake up and at night. And I love it. I love it.
I mean, there's some Christians who don't do that, so that's great, man.
That's great. And also, never say never.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Never say never,
Yeah.
man. It's like
Anybody, God can save anybody, man.
God can save anybody, man.
It sounds to me like he has a legitimate faith, and that faith is, because that's true, it's coming out in his life as devotion to the Lord, daily prayers, seeking the Lord, wanting to become a catechumen in the Orthodox, this kind of thing. It's because there's the seed of faith that's already there. We can't see the heart as human beings, but it sounds like he does, have a faith, and he's seeking the Lord. So
yeah, and also props to David Wood for not giving up on him.
Yeah.
All these years,
10 years as an atheist, and they're friends the whole time, right? I mean, they've known each other for a long time, and now he gets to see the fruit of a long friendship again.
What stood out to me from what he was saying is that Christianity is just a better path in general, just for a human being.
And wouldn't you expect what is true to be what is going to lead to flourishing and a good life? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going along with what is true, instead of fighting against what is true, it's more likely that thing is going to lead to flourishing.
Like obeying the laws of gravity will be good for you.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like if you just distill it down to physics,
even. He looks at Christianity, sees that it's a better way to live, and it is a better way to live because it's true. Mm-hmm. And it's not just a way to live. It's better because the Christian is reconciled with their Creator and now following His will, not fighting against His will. And that's why it's better. And so it's better because it's true. And when you see it, that it's attractive because it leads to flourishing, it leads to joyfulness, it leads to purpose. Mm-hmm. It's because we were made for purpose and for joy and for flourishing. And so you see the benefits of it, and you go check it out, and you go, "Oh yeah, this is good," because it's true. Like it all works together. Like it's not wrong to check out Christianity because it leads to a better life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It leads to a better life because it's true.
Yeah.
And because we were made to be in God's will, following Him, loving Him. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that, it does work out better ultimately.
Yeah. Amen.